Welcome one, welcome all to United Adventure Company, a Saturday midday stream, or maybe it's the morning where you are if you're on the west coast of the United States, or maybe it's tomorrow if you're far across the ocean in New Zealand or Australia. But we want to welcome you and say thank you so much for tuning in with us. We really appreciate you being here. Today, we're going to be playing some Tales from the Loop. This is our session zero. Welcome all to United Adventure Company, a Saturday midday stream, or maybe it's the morning where you
said
are
that
on
already,
the west
Bill.
coast of the United States, or maybe I forgot to mute my browser. We'll fix that in post. We'll fix that in post, right? Yeah, sure. We're
I
professionals.
knew it was scripted.
Yep, it's scripted. It's totally scripted. No, it's not. We are an actual play. I want to say thank you, everyone, for tuning in and hanging out with us today. We're going to be doing session 0 of Tales from the Loop. If you're not familiar with the game, it's a Free League publishing game. Came out based loosely on the television show that was released, more on the art than the show itself. So
They were both individually based off of the art.
yes.
Sorry. So yeah, the game and the show are just based on the art. They're not actually connected.
Right. Thank you so much. So yeah, it's a year 0 game engine game, and a lot of fun. Basically, the characters are kids, ages 10 to 15 years old, set in the 80s that never was. So those of you who grew up in the 80s, it will be a bit of a nostalgia game for you to play. And those of you who didn't and grew up later in maybe the 90s, you'll get to hang out with those of us who grew up in the 80s and are reliving our childhoods. It is also, the setting of our game is in, where are we playing again? We are not playing in the United States.
We're playing in Sweden.
In Sweden, yes. So please forgive us as we horribly mispronounce the names of cities, towns, and places and things.
Borgy.
Well, I don't think we're going to be that bad, right?
No, I would just give an example of what we're not going to do.
Perfect. Today's session, we're going to create some characters. We're going to go through some of the lore, and we're going to go through some of the history and setting. So we have one player that will not be joining us today. She had other commitments, but she'll be back with us the next session, and she already has her character done. If you watched any of our other Tales from the Loop material, Linda is the character that will be rejoining us. Excited to have that. As we get started here today, I want to say thanks to all of our Patreon supporters, Lord Thorin, Two Wolf Design, Nathan, Aaron, and Richard. Thanks so much for supporting us on the Patreon, helping us grow the channel every way that you can. If you like what you see today or right now, you like our faces, go ahead, hit the like button. If you're enjoying the video, subscribe so you can go get notified every time we go live, and tune in to watch us with all of our content, whether that be Tales from Loop, Delta Green, Dungeons and Dragons, or any of the other fine and fun role-playing games that we kick in, like Weird's Test Play that's coming up in just a couple weeks.
Ooh.
Yeah,
Yep.
we're going to be kicking off another Weird Test Play. And
Yes, it's going to be bloody and vicious.
But before we play Weird, Tuesday night we have a very special game. We're going to be playing some Brindlewood Bay as the Brindlewood Bay Book Club takes to the jolly old baking show. So that should be a hoot as our mavens investigate some strange occurrences. But for today, we're going to be getting started with Tales from the Loop. So sit back, enjoy the character creation, engage in chat, and tell us what you think. Everybody's had at least a brief chance to look over the character creation rules.
Not really.
Not really.
Not really.
Yes.
Also, Thorin, I found a form fillable PDF of the character sheet.
Oh, sweet. Send it over.
Yes.
I put it in the Discord and
Awesome.
pinned it. So
Like, God, lazies.
I know, right? Just hit the edit button, add text. It's so easy.
why make things harder than they need to be?
Exactly.
Thank you so much for finding that. We really appreciate you.
You better.
See, Diamond has his old school character sheet, like from the 1980s, on paper. I applaud your nostalgia. I really do. Paper and
Wait.
pencil.
Man, form fillable PDF is where it's at. I'm gonna lose a paper character sheet every time. Every time.
Seriously. Now, my question here is, what year in the 80s?
We decided by rolling in true gamer style a D10. We are 1987. This is the summer of 1987. And you all are, just to kind of give a little bit of setting timeline, school's been out for about a week. It is the summer, and you are ready to start having fun. So, I guess the first thing that you do in character creation, if you haven't already decided, is decide how old you're going to be. You're going to be between the ages of 10 and 15. So everyone choose your age. And since Jesse already has his character, how old is your character, Jesse?
I believe the character is 13, so
13? All right.
I'll know right now. Yes.
Fantastic. If you're looking for character creation rules, they're in chapter 4, I believe. Chapter called The Kids. Choose your type and choose your age. So the types are bookworm, computer geek, hick, jock, popular kid, rocker, troublemaker, and weirdo. I believe we already have a troublemaker, a weirdo, and a rocker.
I'm the troublemaker.
I'm considering being a rocker, but Thorin, what do you want to do?
And I believe that Linda is a popular kid, if I remember Linda's character.
We can look at her
Let's
character
see
sheet.
here.
Mm-hmm. We can look at it because it's in the Discord.
So, what do we got right now?
We have a troublemaker, a weirdo. Lindsay was considering a rocker. Is that correct?
That is correct. That is what I'm considering. Actually, I don't see her character sheet. Oh, here it is. That way we know what her type is, so
Yep.
we don't have an overlap.
We gotta get some.
Linda is the bookworm. That's right. Linda is a bookworm. So we have a bookworm, a troublemaker, a what was the other one we had?
Weirdo.
Weirdo.
I'll be a hick.
Okay. I think I see where this is going already. All right. So that leaves us a computer geek, a jock, or a rocker.
So we can expect a lot of jokes about your ex-wife's derriere.
His
Future ex-wife this time.
future ex-wife.
Can we say derriere on?
Yes, yes. Remember this. You are kids, so remember that. You are kids, so please keep that in mind as you're telling your jokes and whatnot. How old? We'll start with. We'll just go right across. Parker.
Parker just found out that he's 12 years old.
12 years old. Parker is 12. Okay.
Parker's 12.
Jesse, what's your character's name again?
Ragnar Nordstrom.
Ragnar.
Apparently, that is an actual Swedish name because I looked it up.
And he is 13. Parker
Yes.
is 12.
Ragnar.
Lindsay, have you decided on?
I'm gonna go with I am a rocker. I'm 14. That is all I have at this point.
Okay.
I don't have a name. I don't have anything else.
14.
We'll get there.
Rocker. We will. That's what this whole session's about. And then Parker is the weirdo. I'm just making some notes here myself on pen and paper, actually. And then Thorin, how about you? What is your character's name and age?
I went with Marcus Thunderbuff. Age 15.
Marcus Thunderbuff,
Mm-hmm.
15.
15.
You're the oldest of the group. Okay.
Isn't that where the Taurens live in Warcraft?
That's Thunder Bluff.
Oh, okay.
And then
Is it
Linda.
Buff? B-U-F-F?
I got it. Okay.
And then Linda, just so you all know. Actually, Linda's Aaron is the Swedish name for Linda, I believe. Is 13. Cool beans. And the bookworm. Cool. All right, we have names, everyone except for the rocker, which we'll find out here shortly. The next step for you in character creation is distribute the number of points equal to your age throughout your attributes. So you have
Missed one.
your age divided amongst your attributes. So those attributes are body, tech, heart, and mind. I am going to start some background music. You all let me know if it's a little too much or not. Just because there's going to be some quiet time as we're all looking at things. I don't want there to be too much dead air, so I'll put some background music in.
I could sing.
I'll put some background music in. It's
All
okay.
right.
I don't mind. I
I'll
really
go
don't.
through my repertoire of 80s metal. I'll get a little bit of Quiet Riot going.
Oh, yeah. So, seeing as I am the rocker, my favorite album is going to be The Number of the Beast.
Nice.
Because I can sing half the songs on that album already, so it makes sense. Like,
Okay.
I know.
Was that out in the 87?
82, I just looked it up. So, Iron Maiden. I'm going to wear an Iron Maiden t-shirt everywhere I go.
Just like in the book.
Yeah, Iron Maiden. Yeah, that was. I got for some reason.
Let me guess.
I'm not going to tell you what I was.
Your guilty pleasure is a little Debbie Gibson, only in my dreams.
No, I don't think so. I'm leaning it might be something like Heart, but we'll see.
We're gonna
But-
start. We can start a band, and she could be lead, and we'll go and we'll win Eurovision.
There we go.
Something like that. All right.
And her name is going to be Liv.
Liv, L-I-V.
Hmm? Yeah, Liv Almgren.
I would have to say the favorite song was the easiest part. As soon as I saw that list, I'm like, yes, I have to have that one. We're not gonna take it.
There you go.
No, we ain't gonna
Nice.
take it.
Yep, that's the one I chose too.
Nice.
Ooh, y'all are going to get along well, aren't you?
But I am thinking about changing mine. Though.
Come on, who could pass up a little Twisted Sister?
I mean, I don't blame you. Not a bad choice. Whoa.
See? All right, let's try this one. Hidden Valley. This should be a nice little tune for character creation. Oh, I think I've got it coming through Doopies.
You say doopies?
Doopies, yeah, duplicates.
I mean, you're going to turn down things like Eddie Murphy's Party All the Time,
That's
Mr. Mister's Kiri, Whitney Houston, or Pet Shop Boys, West End Girls.
That's a
Such
good
great
one.
hits.
Awesome stuff. Awesome stuff.
Like Eddie Murphy also did one. I think it was called "Put It in Your Butt." I'm pretty sure. I'm not making that up. It was either put it in your butt or stick it in your butt. One of the two.
I mean,
Yeah,
I didn't
I'm
get
not-
the album. I just had the 45.
So yes, my favorite song is going to be "Run to the Hills."
All right. Make sure you're putting all of this on your character sheets. That's going to be very important. I will also find some stream appropriate music for your characters and your types that is copyright free, so that we can use it during the streams. All right. Once everyone has their attributes defined, we can move on to the next. Go back. Go back. I'm trying to work on something here, and it's not working for me here. What the crap? Crazy YouTube is being crazy YouTube today. I found it. I found the thing I wanted. There we go. Hopefully it works. All right. Yes, it's working.
So what is everybody else putting their attribute points in? I'm just curious.
Well, as a troublemaker, my character's primary skills are linked to body, force, and heart. So I put the majority of mine in body, and then heart and mind.
I kind of went the same route.
Like,
Makes sense.
So for the weirdo, the key skills are sneak, investigate, and empathize. And so that two of those fall into the mind category and one into the body category. So I kind of weighted it accordingly.
Right on. Yes, so spreading them across, remember the scores range from 1 to 5. So you can have no score greater than 5 across the attributes. The body is the ability to jump, run quickly, fight, sneak, and climb. For those of you playing along at home, I'll read the description since you don't have the PDF in front of you. Tech is the ability to understand machines, robots, program technological things, open locked doors, and to build things or related skills, right? So the skills are very broad. And if you can make a case for it, it's going to be a go. Heart, the ability to make friends, lie, know the right people, create a good atmosphere, or persuade others. How introverted, extroverted you might be, that sort of thing. And mind is the ability to find weak points, understand people, situations, and creatures, solve riddles, understand clues, and have the right knowledge at the right time. So that's how your skills, or attributes, not skills, attributes kind of play into your life. And you have to have at least a 1, remember, in every skill. No skill can be a 0. You can't be a nothing in something. Every time you age, every time it's your birthday and you gain a year, you gain an attribute point to spend, so you can add it to something. So that's kind of like level progression. You get 1 attribute point for every birthday. So we'll say it is we said it's the first week of summer break. I'm not sure when school lets out in Sweden, but we'll just say it's the first week of June. So if any of you pick a birthday and we come upon it during gameplay, remember to add your attribute skill. And when you turn 16, you're no longer a kid for the purpose of this game. So, because, 16-year-olds.
Yeah, there's actually a follow-up rule set called Things from the Flood.
Yes.
That picks up in the same world after Tales from the Loop, but when you are no longer a quote-unquote kid. So
Maybe I should drop my age down to 14 then.
I mean, you'll get a luck point that way. I actually think I might drop mine down to 13.
So yeah,
I
luck
get
is
2
the
luck
next,
points.
actually the next step. Luck. The younger kids are, the luckier they are. So your luck points is 15 minus your age. Luck is really useful. It will help you re-roll a roll when you get in trouble. And the only issue is with luck is they don't stack from session to session. So if you don't use your luck in this session, it doesn't mean that the next session you have more luck, right? So, and then if you have a birthday, your attributes go up, your luck goes down. So even if you have 2 luck now, if you turn a year older, your luck would go down by 1 immediately. So, all right. Any questions on attributes or luck as we get going? And you don't have to share your luck. You don't have to tell people what it is unless you want to amongst each other. Next
So
up
it
is,
would be pretty easy to calculate from an age.
yes. I mean, it is. All right. Next up is skills. Any questions on skills? They're pretty basic and broad reaching. So things.
How many points do we have that we can put in skills?
Okay, so the level of skill goes from 0 to 5, just like your attributes go from 1 to 5. These are 0 to 5. And
Get
how many
10 points?
Yeah, it's 10 points to distribute amongst all of your skills. You may take up to 3 in any key skills of your type, right? So if your type is heavily focused on tech, you can take up to 3 at character creation for that skill. For other skills, a level of 1 is the maximum. So if you're a trying to do this, like Marcus is a hick, and he said strength is one of his core skills, so you could put 3 into any one skill for body that relates to body. So sneak, force, or move, those skills, and they're pretty self-explanatory. Let me know if you have any questions about that. Yakman puts 5 points into bratwurst. Yes.
I would expect
no,
no less of Yak.
my key skills is force, move, or tinker. So
Yeah, those are skills. Yeah. So you can
And
put
those are where you can put up to 3,
up to
right?
3. Yep.
And you can only put 1 in any other skill. I think
Mhm.
that's what was
That's
said.
correct.
You are correct.
Yep. So sneak is the ability to hide and sneak, not hide and seek. Although, if you were playing a game of hide and seek, I would ask you to roll a sneak if you were the finder, right? To try to find people. And it would be a contest of hide versus sneak finding. Force is pretty self-explanatory, the ability to lift things, fight, and endure physically stressful situations. Like, if you were climbing up a wall and you got stuck, your climb would get you there, but then you would have to use a force to maybe pull yourself up over the edge of the wall or something, right? Questions on any of that stuff? Everybody good to move on to the next session or section?
I think so. I am.
Is that an onion
Good.
ring or Funyun?
It is. It's the Winn-Dixie brand of
Funyuns? Okay.
because I actually prefer them better, the flavor. And the bag is green, so you won't see it.
Right on. All right, the next thing to pick after skills is your items. Some items can be very useful to overcome in trouble. So they can give you a bonus to the dice roll from 1 to 3 extra dice to roll, not just a bonus on the die roll. Oh no, Thorn is just a floating head now.
We have a floating head.
You know how you can stop floating heads? Donate to the Patreon so that our cast can all get green screens. No,
that's the reason why I'm able to do it.
I know. Oh my
Fair,
goodness.
yeah. I would be
Oh
the
my-
same way.
No,
Yeah.
see, he's just putting on his camouflage. He is a hick, so he's going to be wearing camouflage. Who's going to be? Oh, Yakman's going to be. Okay, yes. Bratwurst Yes. Nice. Items. So to get a bonus from an item, it must be obvious how it works, how it is of use to you, right? So the Rockstar maybe has a boombox. The Troublemaker maybe has, I don't know, what would the Troublemaker... You've already figured yours out, so what is some of your items?
Oh no, you only get to pick one, right?
Yeah, what is your item?
Well, I chose from the list, the Rockstar list, not the Rockstar list,
The Troublemaker list?
Troublemaker list, and I chose a lighter and cigarettes because I'm a bad kid.
Of course you are.
What? You were such a bad influence.
Totally a bad influence. All right, so yeah, there's our
Hey,
lists.
it was on the list.
Yeah, there
It
are
was there
lists
like
in your type. So things like, well, I'll go over the ones that the Computer Geek has: a computer, a pocket calculator, or a toy lightsaber. That's the iconic item that you can choose. So perhaps the Hick has a crowbar, tractor, or German Shepherd. And I'm thinking tractor isn't like an actual farm tractor. I'm thinking it's like a Hot Wheels tractor.
I went with crowbar.
Okay, crowbar it is.
Mine
Though a
is a
farm
leather
tractor
jacket.
would make for an interesting game.
It would.
I don't know. They
I
might
mean-
actually mean you have access to a tractor.
That's probably what it means. I would think it would be like, you know, a Tonka tractor or a Hot Wheels
mean-
tractor. That would be what I would.
Yeah. I'm picking the leather jacket.
Of
How do we
course.
determine what the bonus is? Is it +2? That's what the sheet says. Never mind. Yes, that is what the sheet says.
Yeah,
Yes.
you're,
I answered my own question.
Yes. So, and it gives a bonus to certain skills, right? That you get. So, and you can gain new items and you can lose items as well. So, to gain new items, maybe you find something, we give you the item when you find it. Like if you're adventuring around and you find a pitchfork, right, in a hay barn, then you would be able to pick that up and take it with you, and you would get the abilities of the pitchfork to add to your bonus dice rolls. Your iconic item cannot be used by other kids. It is iconic to you. It is specifically, you know how to use it its best way. So maybe it's your bike. I think Linda's is her bike, actually. I think that's her iconic item. And if something were to happen to your iconic item, as if it got lost or stolen or destroyed, it can be pretty detrimental to your character's ongoing. So just keep that in mind.
Parker has his trusty Swiss Army knife.
Okay. Was that maybe a family heirloom Swiss Army knife? Perhaps your grandfather was in the Swiss Army? I don't know.
So I'm playing yet another character that carries a lighter and sets stuff on fire.
I'm not surprised.
I don't know why. I'm drawn to that. I didn't do it on purpose.
Okay. Yak Man playing along at home, building the character. I love it. I love it. I love it. If you all are watching this and interested, Yak Man is a very talented artist. So please go and find them. We tweeted a link to their to them earlier. Make sure you go and check out Yak Man's art store.
If you're in the Discord, my profile picture was made by Yak, and it is amazing, and I loved it. So, totally buy art from Yak.
Yes, buy Yak art. We heart Yak art. See what I
That
did
was
there?
terrible. That was awful.
That was not. It was great.
That's awful.
You can't tear that.
So bad. I can tear anything I want. That was awful.
All right. Questions about items. All right, you can choose to replace your iconic item if you'd like to. Maybe you find something that's cooler, shinier, fancier, whatever. When you do that, the new iconic item gets a bonus value of +2, no matter what the value of the other iconic item was. So, anything else on that? All right, now it's time to decide your drive. What is your reason for being? Why do you expose yourself to the dangerous and difficult situations to solve the mysteries? See, I said that really fast so that the troublemaker wouldn't have a chance to say anything about exposing himself.
What are you talking about?
What's your drive?
Oh, all right. Well, you're asking me, or you're just saying in general?
Oh, I'm just throwing it out there. That's what's out. That's the next step is drive.
Would you like me to tell you mine?
If you would like.
Exposing myself.
Yes. Why do you expose yourself?
Oh, I
I'm
knew
just
that's where it
kidding.
was going to go.
No. This character has a very troubled home life. His parents are always at each other's throat. There's lots of drinking and things going on, and they're always fighting. And he does anything to get away, to get out of the house, to get away from all that bullshit. You thought it was gonna be something stupid, didn't you?
No, I like it.
Uh-huh.
I like it. I like it. I like it a lot. All right. And yeah, what we could go around and share the drive. What kind of tell us each a little bit. Choose whoever wants to go. Tell us a little bit about your character and their drive. What drives them to the mysteries?
Well, Parker's drive is his grandfather. He is driven to try to make his grandfather proud. His grandfather, who gave him this pocket knife, that is his iconic item, and he strives to, whatever he does, he stops and thinks, what would Papa want me to do with this? How would he handle a situation like this?
Okay. Cool. How about Marcus? What about Marcus's drive?
For some apparent reason, Marcus has it stuck in his head that everybody needs him. Everybody just needs him to be there, because when he's there, things are going to go right.
So he's codependent.
Pretty much.
All right.
All right. And I forgot to write your character's name down. Liv. I remembered it, but I forgot to write it down. Liv. Liv, what is your drive?
I haven't quite decided yet. I'm
Okay.
starting to put together kind of a backstory in my mind, but I don't have the drive identified yet. So Liv, she found a Metallica album at the music store when she was 11, and she fell in love with it. Her dad was also a rocker, so it wasn't unusual for there to have a lot of like metal in the house and whatnot. So there was no like, oh, you can't have that, that's bad. He was just kind of like, yeah, you're following my footsteps. And so she has made it a habit of going back to the same music store, and now there is an older teenager who's working there. He's probably 17, and Liv has developed a huge crush on this guy working at the music store. And so she is there all the time talking to him, getting music recommendations, buying new albums. He's the one that talked her into buying Number of the Beast, and it is now her favorite album, and Run to the Hills is her favorite song. And she keeps going back to this music store just to be around this guy. So, and of course, he's 17, so a 13-year-old girl, he's like, whatever. Like, it doesn't even, like, register to him. So she's kind of got this unrequited crush on this guy at the music store. He doesn't have a name yet.
Okay.
So that's that's where I'm at in this. So her drive, I don't know if it's going to be related to that or not. I haven't decided.
Okay. No worries. You don't no need to figure it
But
out at the moment.
I have decided that he is in fact her anchor. So there is that.
Ah, okay.
Yeah.
All
And he
right.
just sees her kind of as like a kid sister, like
Yeah,
this
that
is so
makes
cool. I get
sense.
to like get you into music and whatnot, and she's all like, "But I love you." So,
Well, she
anyway.
wouldn't actually tell him that, right? She
No,
would tell
she's
her
not going
friends that she likes him and that he's so
Right.
dreamy or whatever. But yeah,
Yeah.
awesome, awesome.
Is his nickname like Spike or Thrasher? Or
Oh, it should totally be Thrasher. I love that.
Absolutely.
We don't know what his real name is. Thrasher's what's on his name tag.
Exactly.
That's right.
Oh my god, the music store dude is so edgy. He's a badass. I love it. I love it. Cool. Well, Linda's drive, I'll share since Linda can't be here with us today. I will share Linda's drive with everyone. Need to focus on something else, and I will let the player expand on that later. Maybe you all have a conversation in the secret hideout about these things later on. So the next is the pride. What's your pride? Now the pride is something that makes you feel strong, important, and valuable. Pride may be known to the group or a secret. So if you don't want to share your pride, you don't have to. But your pride is that one thing that you covet. You just, whether it's a personality trait, an item, or another person, whatever. So think about your pride. What might your pride be? And if you want to share, you can. If not,
Well, my
that
pride
is
was
awesome
a
too.
moment where I stood up to a teacher who was being an exceptional ass. I stood up to the teacher, yelled
My
some
machines
profanities,
will rule the world.
lit a smoke, walked out the room. Before I shut the door, I flew a middle finger up and said, "Fuck you!"
Okay.
And I got a spanking because it's the 80s.
yeah. You did.
Yeah, most definitely.
So
Yeah.
I got beat with a stick by the principal. And then I went home. And then my mom had to go with the paddle. And then my dad came home from work and he had the big belt. So
And that's your pride moment is the telling off of authority, basically.
yes, I chose it. It was one of the examples for this character.
Yep,
For the
yep.
troublemaker.
Cool. And then you'll see on your character sheet that there's a little tick box next to your pride. So when you use your pride or your pride gets involved, we'll want to check that because we're going to come back to pride in those home moments, in those down times between, and we'll talk about how that affects your pride, whatever it was. And also, you can use your pride to get one automatic success on a dice roll. So once per session, you can use that pride and get that automatic success. You check your pride after a failed roll or even after a successful roll, and then we'll explain how the pride helps you. And we'll go back and maybe you're telling a group of friends about it, and that's the downtime for the beginning of the next session, and we uncheck it and start. Any questions about pride? Does anybody else want to share their pride or keep it a secret for now?
Oh, I'll share mine.
Okay.
My machines will one day conquer the world.
Yeah.
Okay. Nice.
Are you secretly a goblin?
Not even secretly, apparently.
Yeah, it's not even a secret. All
My
right.
grandfather is always telling me I'm smarter than he is.
So you have that smarter than kind of thing going.
Yeah, exactly.
Gotcha. I have a feeling that Liv's going to be a mystery for a minute.
I'm just now getting around to formulating her problem. The problem.
Oh, did
is
I skip
that-
the problem?
Okay.
I
So
did.
her drive is that she wants to prove that she is the ultimate metalhead. That is what she is trying to prove. So everything she does is to like uphold her metal cred, right? The problem is that she's real close to her dad. She got into metal because of him. And her mother died when she was little. So dad has suddenly gotten a new girlfriend and he's not paying as much attention to Liv anymore. So Liv is, she's frustrated because she feels like this new girlfriend of dad's is taking away time from her. So her problem is dad's new girlfriend.
Yep. So the problem is part of your everyday life. And yeah, I skipped problem. Sorry, y'all. At home, playing along, Yak, don't forget to choose a problem. Choose a problem that you explore during the mystery. So this problem is something that happens in your everyday life, but it will also affect you in the mystery, and you'll get to use the mystery to help explore your problem and maybe overcome it.
Right. So I am jealous of dad's time and now new girlfriend is taking it and I am unhappy as a result.
And that might come to impact your character during a mystery, and maybe you call home and want dad to come help you or something, and he can't because he's spending time with his new girlfriend.
Parker's problem is that he has a fascination with watching things burn up.
I think he's gonna get along with Linda just fine.
Exactly.
We're never going to solve a
doesn't have
mystery.
He just doesn't have the lighter.
Well, that's how we solve the mystery.
We'll never
Hey,
solve a
okay.
mystery because everything's
Burn
going
this
to
motherfucker down.
Like, what is it with us and fire? Doesn't matter what game we're playing, everybody's trying to catch everything on fire.
Burn,
Well,
baby,
we're
burn.
usually playing like, I mean, fire's a good solution, right?
Fire bad.
All right, well,
Honestly, like Yak's character, the one he's building, is pretty freaking great.
It is.
so Ragnar's problem is, I've touched on it earlier, like his family is. All right, so his dad is a security guard to the Loop. His mother is like low-level manager, right? Like in HR. But none of them are really tech people. They're more like support roles, right? So Ragnar's not really a tech guy either. But his mother and father are always arguing about the money and things like that, and fighting, and there's even mention that they only got married because she got pregnant and things like that. And Ragnar may have been a mistake. And there's just a lot of drinking and conflict and drama, mental abuse and stuff that goes on. So in his house, that's constantly on him.
Okay. The chaotic home life. For sure. Ah. All right. What other problems might our kids run into?
One of my earlier inventions kind of went awry, and let's just say that person spent a good bit of time in the hospital.
Oh, it wasn't the chicken coop? It was a person that attacked? Oh my goodness. Okay. Okay. Nice.
Wow. Ragnar wasn't a mistake, he was damn destiny.
Yes. All right, and Parker, how about you? What's your problem? You're all pretty close friends, so you would know each other's problems, the things
Oh,
that
my-
affect you.
My problem
Mm-hmm.
was that I like to burn things.
Like to burn things, right? Or watch things burn.
Watch things burn.
Okay. Fantastic. And with Linda is oh wait, that's Isabella. Sorry, I was about to make Linda a kleptomaniac. Linda's brother died in an accident. So yeah. That's what affects her. All right. We did problems, we did drive, we did pride. I guess next is relationships. And this is kind of how you're going to define how you relate to each other in the group. A little bit more character building and backstory. Maybe we have a little bit of role play between all of the characters here to just kind of set the groundwork. How do you know each other? Maybe do you have siblings? That sort of thing.
Parker's a bit of an outsider. He moved into the area with his family, with his dad. His dad moved into the area to work at the facility, the Loop. So he's a transplant from Wisconsin. And
Okay.
at school, kind of drawn to the circle of friends that Liv has. So, kind of drawn to her, and she's been, introducing him around, showing him around her clique of friends, and what's going on in town and all the rest of that. Because I'm the new kid who just showed up in town.
The cool American kid.
The weird American kid.
The weird American kid, yeah. That makes sense.
Yeah, and Liv can relate to some weirdos and troublemakers for that matter.
Yeah,
Right on.
Parker absolutely hates curling. And it just no one can really figure out why, but there is something about curling that it rubs him the wrong way.
Okay.
Them's fighting words.
It's like the Canadian who doesn't like hockey.
Wait, isn't that how you get permanent exile from Canada?
It's how you become an American.
No. Well, I can definitely see how. All right, so Ragnar is a troublemaker, but he also, he hates bullies, right? Because his family, or his father's a bully, and then he's encountered bullies all the time, right? The teacher was bullying him when Ragnar flipped him the bird and got the subsequent ass whipping 3 times in one day. So he could be connected to Parker that way, because maybe Parker's a new guy, people fucking with Parker, and Ragnar's it instantly hits his innate need to protect. And also Liv, I can see definitely a connection with Liv, just because I'm sure Rocker is there on the fringe of the social in the 80s, and so the trouble, Ragnar is out there. Plus Ragnar likes music, and
Oh yeah, and
Okay.
Liv has decided that Ragnar and Parker are going to be the next disciples of Iron Maiden, and that the 3 of us are going to be roadies. This
And,
is what Liv is convinced of.
I forgot your character's name. What was it? Oh, Buff. Well, since Ragnar nor his parents are technologically inclined, and they live in this high-tech area, maybe Ragnar needs to get help on his homework and stuff.
I got one a little bit better for you.
All right, give it to me.
So for Ragnar, I have Ragnar and I worked on an invention to help stop bullies from going after Parker.
And that's the one that went horribly awry and put someone in the hospital.
Exactly.
Sorry.
I like it. No, I like that.
that.
I like that. Also, Ragnar.
He'll
and-
never bully again,
No,
No, he won't.
Can Marcus
Or-
be my cousin?
nor will he ever play a
Sure.
game of curling.
It can be.
Oh,
y'all can have
That's a
whatever
question
type
for
of.
Thorin. Thorin, I
Sure.
want you to be my cousin.
Sure. Done.
Um,
And by the way, this bully now is permanently walking around with a hand like this.
Yep.
Just missing these 3 fingers.
He's in love. I got a message.
You got a message. Ooh, somebody passed you a note in class.
Wah, wah, wah.
Cool. We will let Linda give the connections. I don't want to do that for them, so we'll let that character build their own connections and scene in the opening scene of the session 1. Pretty much connections, relationships. Anybody have anything else they want to build off of that? Also, you have 2 NPC relationships. So, with connections to locations, and 2 with everyday life. So, everyday life is probably your parent/teacher relationships, and then you're gonna have connections to NPCs that are at locations. So maybe, for instance, Linda might know the librarian and the used bookstore person, right? Just because she's a bookworm. So those might be location-specific NPCs that she knows. So consider that. Who are you connected to at certain locations? Obviously, Liv is the NPC, the record store guy. That's going to be one of your connections to an NPC for a location. So think about that. Maybe Marcus knows the guy that runs the Feed and Seed, like one of the guys that runs the local co-op or something like that.
I actually picked my 2 already.
Oh, okay. Let us
I
have
went
them.
with Olaf, the town mechanic,
Makes sense.
and Lars, which is an engineer to the major subsidiary in the area. I forget what the name of that is.
Oh, for the energy company.
Right.
Yeah, we'll get it. Yeah, that's what's the name of that place? I can't remember off the top of my head either. We'll get into that in a moment when we get back to the. We'll find that out.
I have mine. Mine is I don't have names for them yet, but I just built on what I saw as the examples in the book. So one day Ragnar was out because he doesn't like to stay home, so he's just out exploring and working things out in his mind and stuff. And he saw the local priest with a lot of explosives, and the priest was covered in dirt. And the priest saw him, so the priest knows that he knows. But Ragnar hasn't told anyone yet, but it's always on his mind. Like, what's that guy doing with all that dynamite? And why was his clothes dirty? I chose it out of the book. It was an example. I didn't make it up. I went with it.
That works.
And then the other one is, his. I'm either gonna say it's his parents, or maybe it was. I may change that. Maybe it wasn't the priest. Maybe it was. I got some dirt on that teacher. I think I might change that.
Yeah,
The
it
teacher,
could be the teacher.
that I went. Yeah.
Yeah.
So me and this teacher is always out to get me. And then so the other one is his parents. His parents, they always think he's out buying drugs and committing crimes and stuff.
So I want to expand upon the thing with Thrasher and the music store. Dad is actually the one who owns the music store.
Okay.
So he could get his ass in trouble.
Yeah, Dad owns the music store. Thrasher's obviously an employee. That's why I'm there all the time and why I got into metal in the first place. And yeah. So, and then as far as, and so Thrasher at the music store is going to be one of my NPC connections. But I actually want the storyteller to pick a relevant NPC connection from the mystery and give it to me.
Oh, that's going to be an interesting one. Do you want me to do that now? Because I can.
I mean, if you want to do it now, yeah.
While you're thinking about it, I'll go over my 2 NPC connections. First is I've drawn a bit of a bond, a connection with the school nurse. After the bullying that had been going on, I found myself spending more and more time with the school nurse, and she's kind of taken me under her wing. And the other NPC is my father was recruited from Bell Labs, and it wasn't just my dad who came in that package deal. It was his best friend, who also works at the Loop, and I have a connection with my dad's coworker from back home.
Okay. Cool. That works. So Liv's other connection is going to be the Teens. The Teens is a group of 3 teenagers with dysfunctional families. They found each other in their common lack of trust in adults and their sense of alienation. They desire to revolt. They're punkers. They're punk rockers. You admire them for their reverent disregard of authority and also their awesome battle vests that they wear, and you hope one day to have a battle vest as cool as theirs. Their names are Mara, Muffin, and Spike.
Muffin.
Yes. Yeah.
All right.
Can you kind of see?
Sorta. So Myra,
Mara?
Muffin, and Spike.
Yeah.
Mara, Muffin, and Spike. Okay.
Yep. Or Mara, Macken, and Tagen. Their Swedish names. Mara, Macken, and Tagen. Taggen. I probably just butchered those names, but
Spike. The English ones are going to be easier to remember.
yeah, they are.
Okay. Cool.
Cool.
I know them through the music store.
Exactly. Makes sense. But they also
So
have access to let me look back. I gotta look that back up real quick.
It doesn't have to be. So it doesn't have to be negative.
No, it's a
Okay.
location-based thing. These are location-based.
Then I'm gonna change my second one. Then.
And they have... What do they have access to? Doesn't actually say what they have access to in their description. So let me look in the mystery itself and see if there's a connection point.
Well, they're punk rockers. I mean,
So my second one is going to be there's a man that owns one of the news kiosks that is sympathetic to Ragnar's situation, and so Ragnar quite often when he's trying to get away stops at the news kiosk and reads comics and magazines and stuff like that, and ends up talking to this news kiosk guy a lot. So the news kiosk sort of serves as the bartender role, for the guy that always goes into the bar with his troubles.
Okay.
And I'll come up with a name.
Okay. The teens have access to the punk scene in Adeslu. So it's just kind of a generic location in a town nearby. There you go. All right, we've got relationships, anchors. What's your anchor?
Ragnar's anchor is his grandmother, because no matter how much of an ass he is, how much trouble he gets into, grandma is always there, so he can go and see her.
Checks out. He always has cookies.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
And maybe she is a nurse at the hospital, so she's not always home, so he can't always go to her house. That's why he hangs out at the news kiosk too.
Right on.
But grandma's get his ass out of trouble. She'll pay the bail and stuff like that.
And not tell dad, right?
Right.
Like she'll cover you. She's got your back.
She wishes her daughter never married that son of a bitch.
And she's told you that she has a secret college fund for you if you keep your nose clean.
Absolutely. But I'll never see that thing.
You'll never see that.
I'll never see
pay
that.
dirt.
I mean,
For all you know, that's probably not true. Right? But she's using it as the carrot stick kind of method to try to get you out of trouble, right? Cool. How about Marcus? What's Marcus's anchor? Or who? Who or what? It could be a either or.
I actually have down it's his pa, because his father was the one that kind of got him into tinkering with things, and on the family farm he made sure that Marcus had his own little basically workshop inside the barn that he could basically build whatever he wants with. And because he's on a barn, he already has a lot of materials to do said buildings, like a welder and so on and so forth.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
And that'd probably be the typical spot you would find Marcus too. So that's kind of his hangout, hideout.
Okay, cool. What about Liv? What's Liv's anchor? Or who?
I don't think any of the existing connections that I've created makes sense as that. So I'm still kind of trying to think through it.
Okay.
I think her dad would have been her anchor until the new girlfriend came around, and now, that's not so much the case. Anchor.
We can come back to you if you want. Give you a
Yeah.
few minutes to think on it. What about Parker? Who or what is Parker's anchor?
I was originally going to go with my grandfather, the knife. I've been using a lot of the grandfather, but at the last second when mentioned what, I was like, there's something else here. Parker's anchor is his dog, his pet dog. His name is Beholder.
Okay. All right. Your anchor is your dog. What kind of dog is he?
German Shepherd.
a one-eyed German Shepherd.
A one-eyed German Shepherd.
Rescued
Yes.
as a puppy, right? And you bonded with him as a puppy, and now he's your anchor. Whenever there's trouble or hard times, you seek each other out.
Rescued from a house fire.
That makes more sense now, and there's a little bit of guilt there. So yeah.
And how that fire started, we don't know, though.
We don't know. Nobody knows. But that fateful night, Parker may have met may have met Ragnar that night. You never know. All right. So how about it, Liv? Any thoughts on Anchor? We can come back to it if you want. Another session, maybe.
I think I'll get it eventually. I haven't settled on it yet.
Okay. No worries. No worries at all. So that's Anchor. That's pretty much your character. You've already got names. You've got some descriptions about each other. The only other things to let you know about are conditions. Find your hideout and share your favorite song. So I
You
think
need a honeycomb hideout.
yeah, this might actually be the group's theme song. Like,
Actually, sorry to interrupt here. I just had a thought.
Go for it.
Marcus is my cousin. How is that working? So I think it's my dad's, what your
brother, right?
well, is it Marcus's dad that's my dad's brother, or Marcus's mom that's my dad's brother or sister?
Or maybe your mom, who we didn't decide what had happened to. Maybe they're related that way.
Could also be the case.
Yeah. So your mom is my aunt.
Okay. That works. Your dad's sister or your mom's sister?
Go with my dad.
Okay.
Okay. Dad's sister.
All right.
All right. Y'all keep notes on that. That might come in handy.
And I'm actually going to say that my anchor is also going to be my grandma, who is also Marcus's grandma.
Yeah.
Who's friends with my grandma?
I mean, this is a small town. They're all friends.
Everybody knows everybody. Yeah. They're part of a book club and little old lady mystery solving group. Oh, wait, that's Tuesday night's game. I am so confused.
I'm ready. I'm ready for that one.
I know. I'm excited for that one.
I'm
I'm
ready,
excited
I'm ready
for that
to
one.
channel my old lady.
All right. So the group theme song. Don't know if y'all can hear this.
I don't hear anything.
Might have to turn your headphones up. Can y'all hear that?
Yeah.
I like it.
I have to turn. I got Megadeth playing. I have to turn it down. Let's see what's that.
I'm here for it.
All right. Cool. That
It's
could
not
be the
Maiden, but it's pretty good.
that could be the group theme song. So maybe when the group is doing adventures and things, we can use that. But each of you have a song.
I don't hear it.
I turned it back way down because it's kind of overpowering to the. It's louder than the other songs in the mix. Hang on, I'll give you one more blast.
All right.
Does that
It's got a
work?
little 80s hit to it.
Yeah, it's got a little 80s feel to it there.
Yeah.
And it's definitely got
Sounds
some
like
kind of
a mix
rockerness
of-
to it.
Pantera with some 80s synth going on there.
Yeah, it's a little bit of everything. So,
So is our hangout going to be like the local curling ice rink?
The
You're-
local bowling alley.
your hideout.
Bowling alley.
Yeah, where do you guys hide out together? What do you hide out? Where do you hide out?
An abandoned van down by the river.
I'm actually good with that.
I mean, it could be whatever.
Fine.
It could be an old robot, abandoned robot, an abandoned car, whatever. It could
Yeah,
be.
maybe like it's an old train car, an old industrial train
Yeah.
car that the loop doesn't use anymore, and it's just off the premises.
Yeah,
I
just
like it.
like
And
it.
it's down by the water. Yeah.
Yeah,
just outside the loop perimeter zone, the no-go zone.
with all kinds of. It's like the area that they just dump stuff that they think no one will get into, but then like sends them to another dimension or some shit. I don't know.
Never know.
So I'm looking at the map right now.
Mm-hmm.
What town are we in?
So you are. It's a great segue. If we're done with everything else, each of you have a favorite song. Any questions about characters before we move on to that? Because that's a great segue into the next section of Session 0, which is a little bit about the town, where we are, and what's going on.
No, it was helpful. I like being able to do it this way because we get to go over the rules, and also we all build our characters together, so we know what our relationships are and we understand each other. And
Yeah.
I like that. I feel like in a game like this too, it's a lot more important to have that understanding because it's a lot more relational than, say, D&D, where it's like you run into some people in a tavern, or with
Yeah.
Delta Green, where it's like you're just in this cell with a bunch of other weirdos.
Yeah.
So I like that. I like that we did this. I think it's great. So anyway.
No, that's great. And also it's a very collaborative story system, right? So we're telling the story together. You're going to be telling the story through prompts that I give you. So I will ask you questions along the way, and you all will be describing what you see, what you feel, how it impacts you, that sort of thing. So things might be, what do you guys think about sports? So think about that. What's your experience with robots? Have you traveled far from your hometown? And those kind of things are going to help you build all of your background and backstory. And then the group is, what makes you all laugh together.
Fire.
Explosions.
So, who's the leader of the group? That's something that you all might want to think about offline and figure out, is there a leader in your group? Is there somebody that you always lean on to make the decision of, okay, what are we doing? Where are we going? That sort of thing. And then as a group, who doesn't like you? What secrets do you hold? All those kind of things. When did you all get to know each other? All that stuff will flush out. We don't have to answer now, but be thinking about those questions. And
I have a question about game mechanics.
yeah.
So one of the questions I've got is, we have attributes, so body, tech, heart, and mind, and then we have skills. Sneak, force, move, tinker, program, calculate, connect, charm, lead,
Right.
investigate, etc., etc., etc. Skills, I imagine, are skill checks. You're trying to do something, you need to roll based on skills. How are attributes used?
So I can actually answer that.
Yeah, go ahead.
Because this is the Year Zero system from Free League, and I actually play a lot of Vaesen, and Vaesen uses the same system. So essentially, it's D6 oriented, and what you do is you roll the number of D6 for a skill check, and then the number of sixes you get are successes. So in this case, like let's say you're making a move check, then you would roll your skill plus the attribute. So in this case, if in my case I've got 2 in move and body is the attribute, and I've got 3 in body, so I would roll 5 d6s.
Yep. It's a dice pool.
Yeah.
So they're stacking.
Yep.
Yes.
Yep.
Yes.
Got it.
Yeah, and if you were rolling, like say if it was called for a sneak in this case, I have 0 in sneak, but you still get to roll the body, so I would be able to roll 3 dice still.
Got it.
Yep.
Yeah. So it's nice and simple, and I think most skill checks, and there are some where this is not the case, but most skill checks you only need 1 success. There are some where that's not necessarily the case, but so if you're rolling 1 die versus 10, it's a pretty big difference.
Yep.
So
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Cool. Any other questions about that? About the game itself, maybe?
You only count it if the result is a 6. Then.
exactly.
Yes. Correct.
So I just got 2 6s.
Nice. Very nice. Very
Yeah, so
nice.
get your best D6 ready to go.
Time to search for those loaded D6.
I got my brand new ones, so I get to play with them.
Very
Oh, that's
nice.
right.
Very
The
nice.
metal ones?
What do they sound like? Let's hear them. Let's hear that roll. I want to see if we can hear it. Nope, I didn't
you
hear
hear it?
anything. I didn't hear it.
Oh, it was pretty loud on my side.
Your noise gate is probably.
Yeah,
Yeah, the noise gate's probably a little too high.
that's all right. I trust that
But
you
it-
actually rolled it.
They have amazing sound to them.
Nice. So, some things about the game, the loop, where we're playing, and just some things to keep in mind as we're playing through the game. Try and find my place here real quick. Hang on. Boop, there we go. So a story in the game is called a mystery. The mystery deals with a group of friends trying to solve mystery together, and it's set in the 1980s. Late 80s, it says. We chose 1987 for ours. There are a few things to keep in mind. The principles of the loop are: your hometown is full of strange and fantastic things. Everyday life is dull, boring, and unforgiving, just like real life. Adults are out of reach, so keep that in mind. They go away, kids, you bothering me kind of attitude, right? The land of the loop is dangerous. It's not an easy place to be a kid. And this game is played scene by scene, so kind of like a television show. We'll play out a scene. There'll be a transition. It might just be snap our fingers and we're in a new place. I might say, how do you get there? We ride our bikes. Okay, you're there. What does this place look like? Like that's kind of how those things, or it might be, okay, you're riding your bikes through the woods. Everybody make me a, body drive check to make sure you don't crash your bikes. And we'll go through it like that. In the world, like I said earlier, it's described collaboratively. So as I tell you what you all might be getting ready to experience, then I'll ask, what does this look like to you? What is, unless there is a specific setting that has to be described a certain way. Or I think in one of the other games, there was a pet in the house, and I was like, ooh, what does this pet look like, right? And so it was an iguana, and they described the iguana, and it became the attack iguana. It was a whole thing. It was hilarious and great.
Arm yourself with the iguana. You'll need to go back and watch that clip. I'll
Yep.
find it and give it to y'all.
It's in the top.
And that way you'll know what our other player is like.
Yeah, it's in the top clips of 2021 on our YouTube. So yeah, you can go look at that clips playlist and find it in our top clips of 2021. Any questions about that? We can go into a little bit of detail, but no questions about that. Okay, so your world, your town, we are set in Sweden in the 1980s. There are 8 tech companies here that are all partners with the Loop. And I think your specific question was, what's the name of the town that we're in? You're looking at the map. So let me grab the map myself. And we're going to say that you all are in, was that Munsku, the center island? But you live outside of the big loop. Skettenholm? How does that sound?
Southgate.
Yeah, just past Southgate 5. Or do y'all want to live somewhere else? Y'all can decide where you live as a group. Where do y'all want to be from?
I'm okay with Scott Gnome. If that's what
Trying to
you
get to the map.
Or
Forgot what it was.
Minhammer? Or it's on page 22 and 23.
This is where the men with hammers live.
I mean, if you're looking at this map, though, that's not actually a city or a town. What about Sangasabi?
Sangasabi? On the main
Yeah.
island?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's a small rural community on the edge of the accelerator perimeter.
Is that the description the book gives it?
I'm just looking at it on the map.
Okay.
The towns aren't really described in the book that much.
Gotcha.
Simply because this world is such a collaborative storytelling place. There are a few. The islands have a description, but the towns within don't. Right? So,
Are these fictional? Or are these actually places in Sweden?
I think it's fictional.
I'm pretty sure the actual names of the places are fictional. I haven't compared this to an actual Swedish map, so. But you have the islands have a description. So if you're on the main island, there are a few. Actually, there are a few cities here with names.
So trying to find. Lindsay, what was the one you said?
So it's on Sartskolandet.
Svajorland.
Yeah, that.
Shavuland, yes.
It's just inside the big circle.
Yep.
Little gray
Yeah.
area.
There's like a little yellow circle that we're like right on the border on,
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
just on the inside of it.
Yeah.
There.
Oh,
That's
Sangasabi?
Yeah.
Okay.
sure.
Yeah.
Sure.
Sangasabi. I don't know.
So this
Oh,
island
sorry.
it's black water and deep forests. It's what it translates to. The Black Lake lands in English, basically. Also is known by Faringasu, I guess, and is the main island of the setting. It's about 82 square kilometers and surrounded on all sides by Lake Marlin. Marlon? I don't know how to say the little dot thing. It elongates the vowel, correct?
The umlau, I think it's called.
Okay, we'll go with that.
Yeah, that's what it's called. I don't know how it changes the pronunciation.
I
don't know.
forget. I learned it when I learned German, but I don't really remember German that much.
And then there are some major cities, but this is not one of them. There's probably this is a small little farming village. There may be 50 people that live here. At most, there's 50 people that live in this little sprawling rural farming village.
Well, then maybe we pick somewhere that's a little bigger.
I
Because I,
mean,
feel like
Kunzberga is a several hundred person city.
I don't know if they have like super big populations.
Look on page 21. Yeah, they don't. Most of these places don't have large populations. But if you look on page 21, for that island, there are 4 major cities there. And then one on page 24 also. But that's a prison town.
I mean,
That's
from
page
the
19.
from the map, it's looking the closest big city, without going closer to the inner rings, would be Stanhamara.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
I mean, I'm good with that. Stamhammer.
Or Farentuna?
yeah,
So-
that's
Sangasabi is a hotel in
Oh,
Ikiros,
okay.
Ikiros, Sweden.
Okay.
you all are using a very interesting method of trying to determine where we're from. You're looking at the map and understanding the geography and then trying to make, why don't we live in Vespi or Ska? Simple names for us to say.
I mean,
It's
it's
too
not
easy.
wrong.
Fortuna is actually a bigger one.
Yeah,
But it's-
Fortuna. Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Fjord-
still
Fjord.
only 60 to 70 inhabitants. I mean, I was just thinking that it's got to be big enough to have a music store wherever this is.
But I don't-
The music store could be anywhere, and
True.
people will travel to it. So
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
True.
from
So the
what
music
I
store could be in
understood,
Stenhamra.
when I was reading, I didn't read it all, but from what I understood, it was like the place is pretty much desolate. There is no
Mhm.
large urban areas,
Yeah.
and there you have these rural settlements that have these kiosks around. There's like food kiosk and news kiosk, and so
Correct.
I'm sure there's a music
Yeah.
kiosk.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was just reading the descriptions. Like, would we really be living somewhere that only has 60 people?
Maybe.
Stenhamra it says a few thousand.
Yeah, that's the largest
Anyway,
on this
it doesn't-
island. That's the largest settlement. There are 2 other islands that you can choose from as well: Munsu and Aldesu.
I mean, whatever y'all want to do is fine. I just was thinking,
Question is, how close to the inner ring do we want to be?
How many of you have parents that work at the Loop?
Me, both of mine. So I won't be having kids.
If your parents work at the Loop, you will be living. You're more likely to live in closer to the Loop. The farther out you go, the farther the buses have to run to pick up the employees and bring them back to the Loop. So keep that in
but
mind.
that's just part of the drudgery of it.
It is. It
I
totally
mean,
is.
yeah.
It also means your parents are gone away from you longer periods of time during the day if you live further away, giving you more time to not
Trouble.
have connection with your adults.
Time to make some trouble.
There's if you wanted to live on Aldesu, there are a few named settlements there. Lilla Stenby, about 140 people. Havgarden,
Lilla
a former
Stenby.
royal estate. Sato Youth Correctional Facility is on the northern tip of the island.
Well, I mean, that's where Ragnar lives.
That's
Where?
where he's
The
youth correctional facility.
Oh, yeah.
Maybe not yet, but
That's what he's
he
been
will
threatened
be.
with.
I'm just reading the descriptions of these places.
So yeah, and if y'all want to think about that and decide in the Discord, that's okay too. It doesn't matter where you live for the mystery, if that makes sense.
Okay.
Yeah, you can start on page 19, kind of reading through, or if you wanted to, go back even farther and read a little history of the Swedish Loop, you can. The Sweden is officially neutral and not aligned with NATO, remember, or the Warsaw Pact. This is set in the 80s,
Yes.
not modern day. So, salted licorice, yak's happy. Okay,
Ew.
we'll make sure there's salted licorice for the yak. It actually doesn't sound bad.
It sounds
Actually-
terrible. What are you talking about?
Sounds good to me.
Try it before you knock it.
Mm-hmm.
I don't like licorice.
That's why you should try it salted.
Double
Change-
zout, black licorice. It's my favorite.
Okay.
Double salted.
I'll let you eat it all. I don't want to do that.
Look, salt.
I grew up on the stuff. You can
Yeah.
get that from Holland, and it's
Yeah, it's good.
fantastic.
Salt can actually can enhance the sweetness of things.
Yep, it sure can.
Parker's
ahead, try-
favorite snack is salted or is pickled herring.
Oh God. Oh.
Hey, Lindsay,
I'll have mines with the licorice stuffed inside of it.
Lindsay, try this for once. Just make yourself a nice hot cup of tea, sweeten it how you normally do, but at the very end, just take a very small pinch of salt, put it in, and mix it up.
Oh yeah, I know that sweet and salty work well together. My problem's the licorice part. That's what I don't like.
Yeah, but this is real licorice. This isn't the shit we get around here.
Yeah,
Yeah, exactly.
There's a major difference.
American black licorice is.
It's candied and anise is basically all it is. So, what are some things that you all like to do? Favorite hobbies that you have? Video games. Well, yeah, early video games. We're talking like TRS
Pong.
80s, Pong, Atari.
We play that D&D.
Commodore 64.
Yeah, maybe you play Dungeons and Dragons.
Hell yeah.
Not even your face
Second
when I
edition.
said that.
Second edition, so we use Thaco.
Oh, Thaco.
Yep. Anything
Miss-
that you
I
want to
miss
know
that.
about the history of the loop?
How old is it?
The loop was originally constructed in 1950 ish.
What's its radius?
The radius
I'm
of the loop?
sorry.
I got it. I've got all
I'm
that here.
sorry.
If you need it, I've
I'm
got it.
sorry.
I just have to look it up. It's here.
Yeah, I need to go back and read all this background text. The age of the loop.
Yeah, the Age of the Loop, chapter
This
2.
is chapter 2.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This could be our homework.
Yeah, this could be your homework for session 1. Reading the Age of the Loop and the backstory of where you are, finding out where you live, that sort of thing. Getting around. Do you all have bikes? Do you all ride bikes? Is that how you get around? Does Ragnar have a skateboard? Is he that kind of a troublemaker?
No, Ragnar is like he ain't about trying to skateboard in a foot of snow, so he's gonna be a bicycle kind of guy.
All right, bike kid.
Bicycle. I want to ride my bicycle.
Oh, we're gonna get
want
dinged.
to
All
ride
right.
my.
That's enough. I'm timing it.
I know when to stop.
So one thing about the landscape, no matter where you live, no matter what island, what city you choose, the Bona Towers, the 3 reactor towers on the center island. Yeah, I knew it. The 3 reactor towers.
Do it.
Bona.
Jessica,
Ever-
let it go.
I didn't say
Pressure.
shit.
Bona.
Yeah, yeah.
The tallest tower is 253 meters. This is gonna
It's
be crazy.
huge.
It's huge. It's 253 meters tall. And you can
What the
see
fuck's
these.
a meter?
You better learn because that's what we're going to be measuring in. So you can see them from anywhere on the landscape, pretty much.
The
They-
giant phallus.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yep.
That's my artwork transition. Did you like that?
Wait, I didn't see anything. What happened?
Go back and watch the stream. It'll be there in 30 seconds.
No. Ping it
That's-
for me.
I got to find my pinger thing.
All right.
Painter thing.
Yep.
Oh,
I
yeah,
found the
there you
painter
go.
thing.
Around
Yeah.
the outside of the towers, there are scores and scores of rotten old wooden houses, basically.
How tall
So-
was this thing again?
About 253
meters.
meters.
253 meters. So it's just a little bit smaller than the Chrysler building in New York.
Yes.
The main part of the building without the very
Without the
tippy top
spire,
of the spires.
That's the largest one of these.
That's that archaic measuring system from the Bible. I think God told them to make the ark with measures or something like that.
No, that was
I
cubits.
thought you were talking about Chrysler
Cubits.
buildings.
Hey,
Well, that's
we
what,
didn't
that's,
get to the moon in metric.
that's what Noah's bizarre cousin made.
The cubit. That's right. All right. So the purpose of these towers is it releases the heat created by the gravitron machine at the heart of the loop. That powers the entire particle accelerator deep underground, and around the towers are these scores of red wooden houses. They're the home to the scientists working at the loop and their families. So
It's so precious.
anything else you all wanted to know? I'm sorry, the loop was built in 1969. The Facility for Research in High Energy Physics, or the loop. Yep,
Nice.
1969. The largest particle accelerator of its kind in the world. And the facility was built by the newly formed government agency Synergy, together with state-owned corporation Atom Energy, and Synergy. Those are the two corporations that built it. There's a lot of civilian technology that's come out of it since, military technology,
Big track
etc.
Betamax came out of it.
Probably.
Have you ever watched the television show? It's actually pretty good.
Yo, the Tales from the Loop show, it's great.
Yeah,
It's fantastic. I love it.
If you haven't, I would strongly encourage you because it's a really good show. It give you a lot of insight to the game.
All right. It will, actually. The game goes a little bit different, but
Well, no, as far as the setting and stuff like that, because the show is in America.
so there's a few other mechanic things that we should probably go over, such as luck, how you spend it, the dice roll itself, and suffering conditions. You will suffer conditions on certain things if you don't overcome trouble. Trouble is a challenge, right? And conditions are
Upset,
list.
scared, exhausted, injured, broken.
correct. Those are conditions. So if you get a condition that is already checked, you must choose another one to check. So if you're already scared, then you have to go down the list, right? Then you become frightened, or the next one down. So when you try to overcome the trouble and know what you're trying to accomplish. So typical troubles are things like maybe someone is standing outside the place you're trying to sneak into, right? So you have to roll a sneak. If you don't pass your sneak, you're spotted. The condition may come from being spotted, right?
Scared. Oh shit, I'm out.
Yeah. So we already did dice rolls, items and pride. You can use your iconic dice item for a dice roll when appropriate. You can ask me and I'll say yes or no, but remember you can only use your iconic item once per session. So it gives you 2 extra dice to roll. So if you're rolling that body skill of sneak and you have 5 and you want to use your leather jacket to put over your head and sneak through the bushes so you're cast in the shadow, you get 2 extra dice on that if your leather jacket was your iconic item.
So if I need to do something aerobic, I can smoke a cigarette before I do it.
I think I'd
I
have
don't
to
think
take
that's how that
2
works.
dice away from your roll for that because you'd be winded.
Getting ready to go
I'm gonna
sneak.
climb this fence. Hold on, let me get a cigarette.
Oh,
You've been caught. Failed your sneak roll. Good
Yep.
job.
You can also use your pride, remember, once per session to get an automatic success. So it says once per mystery. Some mysteries are longer than 1 session, so I'm going to say once per session, and we'll just see how that plays out. You can activate your pride after a failed roll, so you don't have to announce your pride usage before, right? You could be like, oh, I failed. I'm going to use my pride. And then we describe together what that using of that pride looks like. So, luck. You can spend a luck point after a failed dice roll. So you do not have to declare luck ahead of time either. Luck point lets you re-roll failed dice without needing to push. Pushing is coming up next. So your maximum number of luck points is, remember, 15 minus your age. Luck points are replenished every session. So you can't save them, but they're replenished. Let's say you're trying to do something almost impossible, and it might require 2 or 3 or more successes, right? Because typically a success is 1 success. Is for almost every single thing, you're only going to need 1 success, but sometimes you might need 2 or 3. And that's based on the trouble and difficulty. So a normal difficulty is 1, extremely difficult 2, and almost impossible is 3. So something impossible might look like jumping from a bridge down to a car passing at full speed, right? That's going to be nearly impossible for a kid to do. It's going to be really hard. So
Unless you smoke cigarettes.
yeah, right. Some skills also let you ask me direct questions that I have to give you the true answer to.
Truth or dare.
Kind of. And then buying effects. This is a new rule that I'm not familiar with because we just played the quick start rule set, and some of these weren't in the quick start game. So buying effects. If you roll more successes than you need, leftover successes can sometimes be used to buy beneficial bonus effects. So if you needed 1 and you get 3, then maybe you get more, or you sneak better, or you get more information, that sort of thing. Or that you can't use them to offset trouble that might occur. Does it make sense?
Sure.
Failed rolls. If you roll no or too few successes, your action fails. You're caught. Robots you built become hostile. That's never happened to anybody. Your parents get angry and give you a curfew. A time machine sends you thousands of years back in time instead of forward. Those kind of bad things could happen to you.
Make a time machine.
There might be a time machine.
Nice.
There is a mystery knot in this campaign called Out of Time, so you never know. Pushing a roll. When you fail a roll, you may choose to immediately retry the task by mentally or physically pushing yourself to the limit of your abilities. This is called pushing the roll. It can only be done once immediately after the failed roll. You must describe what you do to push yourself. When you push a roll, you must first check a condition. All right, so if you push, you have to check a condition. Then you re-roll all the dice except those containing 6s. So you re-roll all your non-successes, leaving your successes there, and any new successes add up. If the trouble came with a threat of condition, and you may have to check 2 conditions if you push the roll, but you still failed after the re-roll, you can push a dice roll before using a luck point. So you roll, you fail, you push, you fail, you use luck, you fail. At every failure, it's an additional condition. Just remember that. At every failure, it's an additional condition. So at some point, you're going to just pass out. One of the things to think about and keep in mind is your character can't necessarily die, right? That's not going to happen in this game. But
The kids can't die.
The kids can't die. That's one of the great things.
They can be put in the hospital, arrested, beat up,
Knocked out, robbed.
any of that, but they do not die.
They do not die. Yep.
The
Smoke
children
up.
never die.
So can you refresh my memory to heal or cure conditions? You take a long rest.
Conditions. Five conditions. You get broken, something really bad happened, physically, mentally, automatically. How do you overcome conditions? I'm trying to remember that one.
I don't know on Tales from the Loop, but in Vaesen, to heal conditions, there are certain, like, you could use your anchor in a scene, for example, but I know there are limits on how often you can do it. So,
Here we
like,
go.
if you were upset, you might call grandma and get consoled, like that sort of thing. But I think there are limits on how often you can do that sort of thing.
Get you some cookies.
Helping each other. I think that's how it goes. I'm trying to find it exactly what it says.
Conditions. The kids cannot die, but if they can consider conditions. Turbo failed.
Roll failed rules.
All right, let's see. You can spend a scene with your anchor and heal all conditions.
Yep. There we go. It's under anchor, right? Under the kids section.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's
that's what I
see.
thought.
Da-da-da-da.
What is anger?
Anchor. Your anchor.
Oh, anchor.
Yeah.
Anchor.
Fire.
Yeah, and remember whenever you have a condition that you actually take a -1 to the number of dice you can roll. So,
For each condition.
for each one, yeah.
Yep.
So
Yep. All right. Take it easy, Yak. Thanks for hanging out with us. Get some good rest. We'll see you next time.
sleep well, Yak.
All right. What's next? That's pretty much it until we get into the
It looks like you can heal your conditions in the hideout the same way you would with an anchor.
Go to the rusty train car.
yeah, you can all hang out in the train car, eat your Cheetos, whatever.
Found this old Band-Aid. It's still pretty good looking.
It'll clean up.
We have Crystal Pepsi. We can always have some of that too.
Oh,
Oh my God, Crystal.
Rinse this Band-Aid in some of that Crystal Pepsi. It'll be a boost.
God.
Rub some of this Cheeto powder in it too.
There you go. All right, kid versus kid. So we have that rule to go over. When two or more kids fight each other, wrestle, haggle, hide, etc. Basically, everybody says what they're going to do and then roll the dice at the same time. It's straight contested. So it's contested dice rolls. Pretty straightforward. You can push your rolls. You get an equal number of successes after the push. You may buy extra successes by checking conditions. So same kind of things occur, but it's all contested.
Let's see. It looks like I'm reading this. There are certain skills that you can use.
Where are you
to,
finding this, please, so I can find it?
I'm
In your
using
book?
the search function on the PDF.
Well, I don't
Wait, you
have
can do
enough
that?
windows to do that, so I'm in the book. Can you just give me a page number, please?
All right. So, most of these rules are around page 71. So.
Oh, that's okay.
Wait, hold on. No, 69 in the actual book. It's 71 in the PDF.
Nice.
Giggity.
Yep, you know how they are. So, all right. So, like for example, on page 73. Oh no, that's skills is where it comes in. So, for example, if you have contact,
Right.
you could use that to heal a condition.
Because you're contacting somebody that can help you heal. That's what you're doing there. So you're reaching out
Right.
to an anchor, you're reaching out to a parent or a trusted adult to help someone, to help yourself
Yeah.
heal.
So it looks like you could use an anchor scene, a hideout scene, the contact condition, the what is this? Lead condition.
Yeah, anything that's
Or not
connected to
condition,
heart.
skill. Yeah, skill.
Heart skills and the hideout and anchor.
Okay, I can't keep. I was starting to follow all of these search results, and then I was like, oh wait, that gets into the mystery. I need to stop.
Yeah, don't go past into the mystery. So pretty
Oops.
much think of that. Heart skills, basically contact, lead, probably empathize. Those kind of things. You can heal your conditions. Makes sense to me.
Yeah, and that's a little different than some of the other Year Zero. So, good to know. Because in Vaesen, you have to use items or attributes. So, Tales from the Loop's a little more. It's a little simpler, actually. So,
Yeah, and it's a little more forgiving because, I mean, you're playing kids, right? So,
yeah.
all right. It just about does it for character creation and basics of rules. Questions, concerns, anything that you all want to cover before we get in? I don't want to really get into anything starting with the mystery until everybody's here. So,
Right. I think I'm good. I'm actually kind of ready to wrap up because I'm hungry.
I'm actually getting a little hungry myself.
How many sessions are you anticipating?
Each mystery is between 1 and 2. There are 4 mysteries in this campaign. The last couple get a little longer. So the
Tales
first,
from the Loop forever.
I'm thinking 8 to 10, probably. Definitely a summer long campaign here. We might be done a little faster than that, but for the most part,
No way in hell.
1, 2. Like
I
we
know,
might,
right?
we
Like
might
us.
get through the first mystery in the campaign in 1 session, but it's probably going to be a session and a little bit, and then into the next one. So
Us? Really? You
I'm
think so?
Really?
willing to say the first one will take us. I would say 3 times as long as you should.
Billy, you got to
Probably.
remember, look who your players are.
yeah, I know. I'm still going to say 8 to 12, probably. Each one. The last one will take the longest. It has the most stuff to discover.
And have you included the quest for the salted licorice?
3 years later.
That'll be a downtime.
That's definitely going to have to be part. Y'all are going to work that in. I just know.
I know you will. All right. Anything else? Is there anything that you all want to stay away from? I mean, we're kids. We're playing kids, so think about themes that we want to stay away from.
Gremlins movie.
Nope. That's sorry.
That a sore subject with people?
Gave
I
me
love
nightmares
the
for
Gremlins.
years.
All right. Anything else?
I'm pretty much. I mean, obviously, no sexual deviancy or sexual violence. Other than that, I'm pretty
mean-
much open.
Well, that's pretty
I'm
obvious. Yeah.
figuring
That's what I'm saying.
PG-13.
Outside
you
the
know?
obvious.
Yeah, PG-13.
Yeah.
Yes. I mean, the game itself, the game book talks about sex and shit like that. So
It does.
Well, and you also have to keep in mind too that Free League is actually a Swedish publisher, and
Mhm.
Sweden has different mores about that than we do.
than we do here in America. So, yeah, that's something to consider. And you also have to remember your age. You're in this experimentation thing. I think that's why it's included in the book.
Yeah. I mean, look, I'm okay with kids falling into meat grinders and shit like that. It's,
I
We
don't
also
think.
need to remember TOS.
Yeah, right. So there's that. as well. I think we'll be all right, though. I think we'll be all right once we get into it.
Yeah, I don't think we'll have any problems.
So I will share the. Let's see if I can actually. I might not be able to. No, I can't share the name of the first mystery because that would be a little revealing to certain things. But the name of the campaign is the 4 Seasons of Mad Science, and we're going to start in the summer season. So.
All right.
And summer on the islands. Just kind of to get yourselves into the feeling of summer on the islands. Think about blackberry thickets. It's hot. It's mostly pine trees, ferns, mosquitoes.
Mosquito season.
Yeah. So kind of
Ew.
think about that in the background there.
Portable bug zapper.
And
Hairspray. A can of hairspray and my trusty lighter.
Oh, something that is pretty common is everybody listens to this radio program that comes on every day at 1:00 called Summer. That's the name of it. So you can kind of hear that as you travel through. That'll be like this background, this radio story that's going on. This radio show. Strawberries and
What's the name of the radio
barbecues.
host?
It doesn't say.
Ah.
So we can make that up.
That's great. The average maximum temperature in Sweden, 73 degrees.
Nice.
That ain't hot. What?
I know,
No,
right?
it's
That's
not
not
at all.
hot. It is for there.
For us, it's like, man,
That's a beautiful.
I know.
That's a beautiful spring morning.
I know.
I know.
Yeah.
73 degrees out here, man.
It's currently 67 here. So.
Yeah. Well,
it's
especially
just
64 here.
rain.
So.
I mean,
39 here.
here in Louisiana, you wear the air too, so it's like
Yeah.
Yep.
you can cut the fucking air with a knife.
Yeah. It's only slightly less humid in Atlanta.
Yep.
And y'all
I'm
are
not a big
like,
fan of pre-chewing my air before I breathe it.
yeah, I don't recommend you come visit us, and I certainly don't recommend you go visit Jesse then. He lives in
Oh,
a swamp. It may as
Come
well
visit,
be like,
just don't
you know,
plan to do any manual labor in the yard or anything.
No,
stay in
just
air
sit out-
conditioning.
Sit on the porch, drink a couple beers, and that's pretty much it.
That's it. Not doing much else. All
Go
right.
fishing. Like we won't be doing any roofing or anything like that. Unless you want to, because I have some spots on the roof that need to. Yeah.
All right. So if there's nothing else for the game, I think we're gonna wrap up session 0. Everybody happy with where their characters are?
Yeah, yes.
Oh, yeah.
They've
Absolutely.
gotten? So to recap, we've got Liv, Marcus, Parker, and Ragnar
Ragnar.
and Linda. So these are our kids that will be playing the troublemaker, weirdo, rocker, hick, and bookworm. That sounds awesome. We're gonna need to come up with a couple of little other transitions for the show, where we'll pop some maps up here and there. There aren't a lot of maps or artwork, but occasionally that will happen. So we'll try and come up with a transition for that. And go from there. But I hope everyone has enjoyed session 0. Thanks so much for hanging out with us. If you have any questions that come up, shoot them to me over in the Discord. If you are joining us in YouTube land, make sure you join the Discord as well and come hang out with us. Talk to us about this game and all the others. Don't forget, tomorrow we have a very special premiere that's going to be coming out at around noon tomorrow. Part 2 of our Delta Green playthrough of Midnight Sun will be launched tomorrow at noon. So enjoy that with your family for Easter Sunday, if you celebrate Easter. Sit around the old YouTube and fire up the Midnight Sun Part 2, so you can have all the laughs. If you haven't seen the 3-minute clip of our first session, go ahead and watch that. It's the highlight video on our YouTube landing page. So make sure you tune in and check that out. Get all the laughs. You'll see why you should always watch Delta Green when we play, because it's usually a pretty good time. Anything else from anybody? I think that's going to do it for us here at United Adventure Company. This is Tales from the Loop, the 4 Seasons of Mad Science, Session 0 wrapping up. I will add the names to the credit slide. They're blank for most of you right now because we just decided character names. So I will add those. Thanks again to all of our Patreon supporters, Lord Thorin, Richard, Two Wolf Design, Nathan, and Aaron. Thank you so much for your Patreon supportage. And to all of those of you who have subscribed to the channel, we hope to see many, many, many more of those come through. Until next time, you guys have fun role-playing in the 80s that never was. We're the United Adventure Company. See you later, everybody. Later, dudes.